What's up, everybody? cilinixfxcapital here. Are you tired of missing opportunities and losing money while trading in these markets? Then I might have the solution for you. For those of you who don't know, we run the Cilinix Crypto Signal and Premium group, in which I not only share my own trades, so profitable signals, but I also give you 24/7 mentoring to actually become a better trader yourself, and you gain access to a trading guide with multiple strategies and basic beginner tricks to actually become a profitable trader yourself. If you're interested in that, links will be down in the description or in the pinned comment, and make sure to check that out right now. If you join through Telegram, there's actually a limited time only lifetime offer in there as well. So check that out, and hopefully we will connect. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video and this daily update on XRP. We're going to do a full update on XRP right here, talking a little bit about next week. Yesterday we spoke about this Ripple XRP conference and BlackRock, or at least someone from digital assets at BlackRock speaking there. And the relevance of that, if you're really interested in that, you should watch the video yesterday. But ultimately, if anything comes out of that, I'll keep you updated on that in my recent videos as well. But that's a bit of a recap. But yeah, so we'll talk about next week. We'll talk about the technicals at this point of time. We'll talk about what I think is most likely and what I wanted to add in this video specifically. Because honestly, I mean, look, XRP is basically for the last week, it's basically been at the same level, which is quite boring, right, for me to keep making videos on that. So I try to, add something in terms of relevant news, or in this case, relevant buy areas. I try to add that in these videos. So that's what we're going to do. So let's get right into it. Now, talking about next week very briefly, because I think it's necessary for all of you to know ahead of time, is that Thursday we have some major data again, economic data with the inflation rate coming out, the CPI and the normal inflation rate. That does matter in the sense that, it would be very bad if that's going to be higher than expected. It's pretty certain we're going to get a rate cut in September. So it's not really relevant for that anymore. But the thing is that if this is higher than expected and we have unemployment rate going up, that's bad news. And that will create all sorts of fears. And in that case, we can actually have some pretty severe bearish momentum. But I'll still keep you updated on that ahead of time as well. So don't worry too much about that yet, but just be aware of that's coming. All right, so talking about XRP, we're still incredibly stable. We're still stable in that area between the value area low of the range we have made since July and the value area high of the range we have formed since December 2024. So that's these two blue lines right here. And so far we've been capped to the upside by the 90-day rolling VWAP. And that's also the main area I'm looking at. But ultimately, look, what I've told you the last couple of days is that what I expect, what I think is most likely, based on the fundamentals, based on what I expect from the markets, based on what I expect and see from XRP, I would say stability is most likely, and then eventually I think we'll gather up enough momentum from somewhere. Who knows where? It's not here right now, but it's going to come from somewhere. And we'll be able to break above the 90-day rolling VWAP and head for the 30-day rolling VWAP, which is confluent with the point of control of the range. So basically a high liquidity zone, which is usually a bit of a magnet, right? I mean, price very often, at least on the higher time frames, tries to gravitate between these centers of liquidity. So that's what I expect. I think that's relatively likely right here. So how do you go about trading this? Because at this point of time, trading XRP is definitely not interesting. There's no momentum, there's no volume, and there's no clear direction, right? I mean, if we actually get some bad news, which is always possible, we could also have a bearish breakdown, right? That is a possibility. If new news enters the market, and that's bearish for XRP specifically, or that's bearish for the crypto markets, we can still find balance lower, and we can still auction down. That is a possibility. I don't think it's most likely, but okay. So there's two ways I'm looking personally at trading this. At this point of time, I have no trades open for XRP, and that would either be a strong reclaim above the 90-day rolling VWAP. 90-day rolling VWAP is a massive resistance, and that has really been capping the upside. It's specifically been the main source of support and resistance. Break above that with real volume. All right, I do need to see strong volume, and I think that's a great breakout or break retest trade up to the 30-day rolling VWAP. It depends a little bit on the context and how the price action is. For example, if we have some major imbalances to the downside, I would be a little bit more careful and maybe see if you can find some trades on other majors. But that's the first way I'm looking at trading XRP. I would say that's a little bit more risky. And then the second way is just very much hoping for bad news. and a move into this a high confluence and high liquidity zone right here around 2.5. Now, do I think it's likely we're going to drop down into that? No. All right, I think it's more likely that this is a local bottom and that we'll be able to move up from here. But like I said, I mean, you should always have some sort of a plan B, some sort of a war plan for if things turn south. And I think getting some sort of a limit order right here between maybe even 2.6 and 2.45. So that's basically like 2.6 is the bullish line in the sand. Like if we fail to hold that, that's very bad news. And then we have the point of control at 2.45. So that's a high liquidity zone. So those are the two main areas where I'd be looking at buying XRP at this point of time. Until then, and until we see that momentum come in, I think we're going to remain stable. And stability, short term actually seems a little bit more likely. So it's not great to say that because obviously that's boring as hell. But that is the truth as I see it right now. Those are my thoughts. Thank you for watching, everybody. Take care and bye.